everyone, my name is Taryn and thank you so much for stopping by my channel, Nicole Flower House. This channel is all about my cut flower garden and I'm located in Zone 7B. This week's video is so special to me and so exciting. And if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what I'm going to announce. I have recently opened up my own very small flower shop. I'm so happy this opportunity came along and it just really fit my circumstances. There's a lot to tell you, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I am renting a small space in a building that has multiple vendors, and then they also collect a percentage of your sales. Customers check out at one central location. This place has its own employees, so all I have to do is take my flowers to the booth and they take care of everything else. This is just such the perfect fit for me because I really feel uncomfortable at farmers markets, and that's a lot of time to spend on your weekend, and I just didn't have the opportunity to do that. So with this, I can take my flowers to my booth and then go home and then make it into work. I'm still working full-time right now while I get this figured out, but maybe that will change someday in the future. I have a very small space. It's one shelving unit along the wall, but it's located right next to the cash register. And mainly what I have available to sell right now are tulips. I do have some anemones and a lot of greenery. I'm making mostly $10 arrangements that have around 7 or 8 blooms in them, plus the greenery. Those are selling very well. I've made some larger arrangements and those have not sold. I have sold a few $15 arrangements that have a dozen stems in them. I also have small cards and my signature stick card holders available. I've actually sold a card holder. I'm kind of surprised. I wasn't sure if anyone would be interested in purchasing those. I'm only selling those for $1 because it's just a stick, but it is convenient to have them there. They are plastic free and compostable, and they actually look really cool on my shelf. So I'm glad that I have the stick card holders available. As you can see here, I have lots of tulips coming on. This year, I'm hoping that these continue to bloom for the next several weeks and I can have a longer harvest than I did last year. Now I'd like to show you up close what some of the arrangements I made look like. You can see here, the tulips and anemones look really nice. I have a variety of colors, and I'm using cypress and lavender as my greenery. Each week, I will probably change the greenery around so I can see what lasts the longest. I'm finding that if I can get greenery that lasts several weeks, it's really easy for me to just go to the shop and pull out spent blooms and replace them with fresh ones and allow the greenery to stay in the vases. Here is what my wall looked like before we started working on it. It was purple. We added some 1x6 boards so we could anchor in my sign, and we painted it pink and added some brackets at the top. I was very inspired by Sarah on Blooming Gray with her neon sign, so I have a very similar neon sign for my business name. I also wanted to take advantage of the height of my space, so I've hung a birch branch from the ceiling and I've decorated that with paper roses. And then underneath that is my shelving unit. I know I have so much to learn through this whole process, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I've been open for about a week now, and I've been taking my tulips there, and I've actually had around 1 to 2 sales per day. And the price point that is selling the most is the $10 price point and the $15 price point. So this week coming up, I'm going to do more of those small arrangements, which I call posy arrangements, instead of the really large ones. The wrapped bouquets that I sell for $15 are also very popular, so I'm going to focus more on that. I took a lot of inventory on my first week, and a lot of it did not sell. So this week coming up, I'm going to take a lot less and just replenish it more often, and my inventory will be more consistent and more refreshed. I've only sold one of my market wrapped bouquets so far, but I really like the way they look on the stand. I just put them in buckets, and this is something I want to have a lot more of available in the summer, are just wrapped bouquets available in the buckets instead of making a ton of arrangements. The $10 posy arrangements though are very quick for me to make, so I will still make those, especially since they seem to be very popular. I've already made a pretty big mistake with these bouquets though. The first one I took sold really quickly, so I'm not sure how that one looked in the bucket. Then I took 2 more that didn't sell, but when I went back to look at them, the paper that I had wrapped them in was just barely touching the water. So over the course of the day, that water seeped up and completely soaked the paper wrap, and it was all soggy and wet when I went and checked on it. So that is a lesson for me to make sure that just the stems are in the water and that absolutely none of the paper is touching the water in the bottom of the bucket. So I will be replacing those bouquets. I'm not sure if that was the reason why they didn't sell, but I definitely want to try more of these out. Also, the first day that I was able to bring in inventory was a Sunday, and it was kind of disappointing because I didn't sell anything on my first day and I started to panic, but then I sold between 1 and 2 arrangements every day since then. Coming into the weekend, I'm wondering if I will get more sales. It's also been kind of rainy the past few days, and I talked to one of the employees that works at the cash register, and she did say that she notices there is less traffic when it's rainy outside. There's less people coming into the store. So that's another thing I'll have to pay attention to and learn, is just what sells on what days has the most traffic, and when I need to include more inventory. I'm also considering adding more inventory that is not fresh flowers, that's not perishable. That way I can limit the amount of flowers I bring to just about what will sell within a few days. I'm partnering with another local artist who is going to make me these absolutely beautiful mugs that are handmade pottery pieces. Someone that is also local, and she's a wonderful person. So that is something I'm going to offer. The colors are going to be on brand. I will put some flower arrangements in those mugs, and I may sell a few without flowers in them, just so I have something to put on the stand to take up some space that's not perishable. I do have a lot of empty shelves right now. I don't know if you noticed. They do bother me a little bit, but I'm trying to think of creative things to put on there, things that are thoughtful, but to just make the stand look nice when I don't have as many flowers available. I'm sure my sales will grow throughout the season as I get more things coming in the garden to put out there, but I'm just thrilled at the start that I've had. I knew going into this that I would have flowers that weren't going to sell. I told myself not to worry about it, and at least the product is compostable and it'll go back into the garden in its own way. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was easy for me to collect the week's inventory that didn't sell to bring it home to compost it. It was sad and it still affected me a little bit, but I'm hoping I will get used to it and eventually I will work out a better system so I'm having less product coming back that goes into the compost. And even though I'm going to feel very busy continuing to work while I do my flower shop, I'm glad to have an environment where I can learn and not have to worry about if my business is making money. I would rather learn now and then maybe take the leap in a few years with cutting back on how much I'm working at my regular job. You'll notice that the price tags that I'm putting on these bouquets are blank. That's because I am worried that they may get wet in transport from the water. So I attach the blank card, and then when I get to the shop, I put the barcode on there so I make sure that it stays dry. All right, that is all I have for you today in this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, and please do leave me feedback and comments and ideas down below. I love hearing everything you have to say. The best way you can support me and my channel is to subscribe and share it with your flower loving friends. I'll see you next time. Bye.